Defense Minister Ehud Barak approved a transfer of money to banks in Gaza, and the money went through today. But opposing him was Attorney Nitzana Darshan Leitner. Shalom to Nitzana Darshan Leitner.
Hi, Aaron.
Now, before you relate your opposition, could you explain to us what is the official reasoning behind transferring the money?
This is money that actually was donated by Arab countries that Hamas received to their hands. The only problem is that it comes in dollars, bills of hundreds of dollars. And in order to use this money, the Palestinians in Gaza need to break it into shekels. The one that breaks these dollars to shekels is Bank of Israel by Bank of Poalim or Bank Discount, the Israeli government. So basically what Israel is doing is not only supporting the Hamas government in Gaza by providing them shekels, they actually help them to transfer their donations into a currency that they can use. This is a terror money, and this is the reason why Israel should not transfer it to the Gaza people.
How do you understand Barak's decision?
Well, not everything Barak does is rational. We learned that. It's a political interest. It's a political interest. There is a tremendous pressure by the World Bank put on the shoulders of the Bank of Israel, on the Israeli government, not to create a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Gaza banks need shekels. Pay attention. When they say they need money, they don't say they need money. They need cash. You can hear it. They need cash because they have the money. They bring hundreds of thousands of dollars through the tunnels. They smuggle them in. They build up charities and they open bank accounts and they trick the entire world. And they have the money. They just don't have the shekels. The currency which goes in Gaza is the shekel currency. This is why they're desperate to shekels. And under international pressure, eventually Barak collapsed and provide the shekels.
So tell us, why are you against moving money to the Gaza banks?
Because I'm against people getting killed by Hamas. This money is serving Hamas to purchase their missiles, to pay their handlers, to pay their terrorists, to murder Jews. And maybe Barak doesn't think that, but I believe that Jews should live safely in their country. And if Israel decided to disconnect Gaza or Hamas from the entire world. When Hamas took over in Gaza in June 2007, Israel ordered all the banks and all the countries to boycott Hamas, not to be in contact with them. And now we see that Israel is the only one who is in contact with Hamas. They provide them with the money. This is absurd. This is something that a normal country will not do. This is something that has to be stricken. This is something that cannot go on anymore. And the banks themselves, Bank of Poalim and Bank Discount, know that their money might fall into terror organizations' hands. They know that, and this is why they ask Bank of Israel to get away from it, not to continue doing it. But there is a higher interest.
So who are you representing?
A lot of families from Sderot who lost their loved ones in missile attacks in Sderot. People that lost their legs, they lost their entire life, I would say, because of the Hamas terror attacks.
So Nitzana, could you tell us, what exactly did you do to prevent the transfer and why didn't it succeed?
We filed this morning a high court petition to the Supreme Court of the State of Israel, demanding to block Ehud Barak from providing these hundreds of millions of shekels. And in addition, we asked the court to stop Stanley Fisher, the director of Bank of Israel, to continue dealing with the banks in Gaza or continue forcing the commercial banks in Israel to deal with the banks of Gaza. We hope that the court will grant these reliefs, and for the first time, Israel will have no obligation to the people in Gaza. Israel will not fund the Hamas. Israel will not strengthen the government of Hamas in Gaza, Israel will do the rational thing. You decided to disconnect from Gaza? Disconnect from them completely. Well, the petition is still pending. We know that Barak most likely transferred the money, but this will be the last time that Barak is transferring the money. He did it the end of September this year. He did it half a year ago again. Every time the Palestinians in Gaza are crying and yelling for cash, Barak comes through with a truck full of shekels and bring it to the Palestinians in Gaza.
Nitzana Darshan Leitner, thank you very much.
My pleasure.